So now first of all we are talking about what is meaning of greenhouse effect. Okay, chalo. So to explain this greenhouse effect, first of all we just understand what is the meaning of greenhouse gas and how the earth temperature is maintained. Annual means whatever we are saying, that is 25 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. These are the standard temperature, mean annual mean temperature of this earth, which is lie between these ranges. Why these are the possible? How we decide that? Now, so first of all, start with the greenhouse effect. So we have to discuss what is meaning of that greenhouse gas. So before starting the diagrammatic representation, I'm just writing the definition for that greenhouse effect. So please write down. Greenhouse effect, it means that warming of earth surface. Warming of earth surface. Warming of earth surface due to downward flux. Please change the pen because this word is very important. Downward flux. It's called as greenhouse effect. Okay, GC effect. So you can write down greenhouse effect as a GHE. Greenhouse effect. Now we have to focus on only one word. What is the meaning of downward flux? Why we are using this word? That is downward flux. So understand the downward flux. We are taking some diagrammatic representation. Chalo, start karte hain. Now, these are the earth, sun. Sorry, these are the sun. Okay. From the sun, sunlight can come. We know that these are the normal process. So first of all, we draw one earth surface. So make earth cut structure draw करके ले रहे हैं. Okay. Just focus on the earth surface. So sun कहाँ गया? हाँ, sun is there, and now these are the earth surface. So I'm just writing these are the earth. Okay. Now, again we are talking about that is one atmospheric level. So these are the thick atmospheric level. So use the pencil or any highlighter to represent this layer, and I'm using the different color pen to represent this structure. This one, these are the called as the atmosphere. And we know that inside this atmosphere there is a presence of these different gases are there. So ये जो layer होगा, that is atmospheric layer. Okay, so just check sun, earth surface, and the atmospheric layer. Now one by one we are talking about the reaction. First of all, now approximately 25% sunlight it is coming towards this earth. But out of 100%, this 25% sunlight, I'm writing the value here, that is 25% sunlight or the solar energy, it reflected. It get reflect. And what is the reason for the reflection? Because it is consist of the different gases are there, clouds are there. So यहाँ पे बहुत सारे clouds present है, along with that different gases are there. So due to that reason, now the 25% sunlight it is reflected from the atmospheric layer. Okay. Now another 25% it is absorbed by atmosphere. So we have to draw this line up to atmosphere. So देखो please just check where this arrow is present. We are not crossing through that atmospheric layer. We are just saying that is the value, this value, that is 25%. it is absorbed by atmosphere. So I'm writing just ATM for the atmosphere. Okay. So 25% it is reflect back to pavilion because of this cloud and the different gases, and the 25% is at the absorbed by atmospheric layer. Now, out of 100%, we just discussed 25, 25. Kitna bacha abhi? Out of 100%, how much percentage is remaining? 25% reflected, 25% is absorbed by the atmospheric layer. Now tell me, how much concentration it is remain? Yes, Sahil, these are the 50%. So now in this condition, we are talking about remaining 50%, it will be reach up to Earth surface. This one. So I'm writing this information, that is 50%. These are sunlight reached on Earth's surface. Okay? And here I just want to draw one specific information. Whatever the sunlight, that is how much concentration, that is 50% concentration, which is reach up to sunlight, these are in alternated form. These are also called as the SWR. And the long form of SWR, that is short wave radiation. Short wave radiations. Okay, short wave radiation, that is SWR. So just focus, this point is very important. What is the meaning of the short wave radiation and the long wave radiation? So now in this diagram, we are talking about what is meaning of this downward flux, because downward flux, it is responsible for the maintain the earth temperature. But before the downward flux, we have to discuss out of 100%, that is sunlight, it is present in 100%. So out of that 100%, only 50% sunlight, these are reach up to earth surface, and which is a present, which is get transported, which is reached in the form of the short wave radiation. Can you tell me if you know the simple rule of the energy, that is wavelength? Energy, it is always measured in wavelength. We know that we measure in the wavelength, that is nanometer. So can you tell me what is the relation between the wavelength and the energy? These are the directly proportional or inversely proportional? How do you know about this? Because in photosynthesis chapter also we discussed this relation. What is the relation between the energy and the wavelength? Yes, Sahil, these are the inversely proportional to each other. So definitely when we are talking about the short wave radiation, short wave, short wavelength, short nanometer, it means that it has the high energy, right? So I'm writing this information. Please, if you want, you can write down on the margin. So when we are using the word that is short wave, wave means we are talking about the short wavelength. So remember, if wavelength is short, it means that it is contained the energy level is comparatively high. And when you are using the wave, that is long wavelength, long wave, that time inversely proportional relationship. So according to that, that energy it is contained, it's low. I hope you remember last year when we started the photosynthesis, we discussed the electromagnetic spectrum, and we discussed that point. Why X-ray, the price of the X-ray is only 300 to 400 rupees, and why MRI scan, it is required 5,000 rupees per organ. Why MRI scan, these are the costly? Because we are using long wave like microwave, which is a shape to body, while when we are performing any X-rays. So in that X-rays, the light which is the source of energy, which is source of light, it is used, that is X-ray, and X-ray basically is an example of the short wave. And if short wave, it means that more energy, more penetration power. So हम ज़्यादा discuss नहीं कर रहे, we just want to tell you energy and the wavelength, it has the inversely proportional to each other. If short wavelength are there, it means that they contain the high energy, and high energy means what? High penetration power. It can penetrate easily on the surface or any organ or any tissue. Clear this point? This point is clear. How do you understand this relation? What is meaning of the short wave? If short wave means high energy, long wave means low energy. Clear? Good, Kinmay. Chalo, very good. Now back to pavilion. हमारे diagram के पास हमारे. Now this diagram. So what we are discussing, we have to focus on the 50% sunlight which is reach on the earth surface, and the reach the surface, whatever we are talking about, in the form of, they are reach in the form of, that is short wave radiation. It means that they having the long energy. Now what happened? Definitely such energy which is reached into Earth's surface, it is present in the form of short wave radiation. But now what happened? It will be get reflected. It will be get reflected because we know that is this any energy, is this any light, when it is strike on any surface, it will be some energy it is absorbed and some energy it get reflected. So now in this condition we are talking about when it is get reflected, now that short wave it is converted into long wave radiation, and this LWR, it means that we are talking about that is long wave radiations. Simply, initially when that short wave is strike on the surface, it is present, it is contain the high energy. Once that short wave radiation it is strike on the earth surface and again it is get reflect. So जब कभी उसका reflection होगा, so it is not present in short wavelength, it is converted into long wavelength. And long wavelength means what? It contains low energy. यहाँ तक कोई doubt है? Had you understand how that short wave radiation is converted into long wave radiation? Because when directly sunlight is coming from the sun, it is present in the form of short wave radiation. And once it is strike on the earth surface, when it will be hit on the earth surface, so now it is converted into long wave radiation. Clear this point, everyone? Have you got this point? Okay, Abida, very good. Now I'm writing some information. Okay, chalo. So we are writing some sentence with respect to this, and again we discuss that is what happening about that long wave radiation. So in this condition, I'm writing, please write down, that is atmospheric gas allowed to pass short wave radiation. SWR. We discussed just what is the long form of this SWR. So that is short wave radiation. So we discuss in diagram atmospheric layer which is allowed the short wave radiation because it has the high energy concentration, high energy. And if high energy, it means that penetration power also high, right? So atmospheric gas, it is allowed to pass short wave radiation, but it absorbs long wave radiation. Next point, these long wave radiation come downward and maintain annual mean temperature of Earth, called as, which maintain the annual mean temperature. These are called as downward flux. These are called as the downward flux of long wave radiation, or in other language, or these are also called as the greenhouse flux. These are also called as the greenhouse flux. So just read this information which is writing here, because all these are the information about the greenhouse effect, or what we say that is downward flux. So यहाँ तक तो समझ में आ गया? If writing part is finished, then please tell me. I'll explain this part again. We are talking about how the formation of that downward flux, and downward flux nothing but we are talking about there is something of greenhouse flux who maintain the annual mean temperature. Initially what happened? From the sunlight, 50% short wave radiation is reached on the earth's surface, and once it is reached, it is get strike, it is get reflected, but it is present now in long wave radiation. But now what happened? long wave radiation, it has the less energy, so they never cross the atmospheric level. See, यहाँ पे देखो डायग्राम में आ जाओ. So if you see long wave radiation, it has the high energy, so it can easily reach up to Earth's surface. But now next scenario, what happened? It is converted into long wave radiation, and now such long wave radiation again it will be came down on the Earth's surface. Long wave radiation cannot cross the atmospheric layer because energy content is low. If energy low, it is can't penetrate inside this atmospheric layer. So that that is long wavelength radiation, they can't cross the atmospheric layer, and again it came down on the Earth's surface. So such condition, ये जो process है, this process, these are called as the downward flux. Downward. Down means what? Toward the down direction, downward direction. Downward flux of long wave radiation, because long wave radiation, it can't cross the atmospheric layer. So again, it will be came down. That's why it is called as the downward flux of long wave radiation. And such type of these downward flux also called as, just we discussed, it is also called as greenhouse flux. These are also called as the greenhouse flux. So how do you understand what is meaning of this greenhouse flux, or what is meaning of that downward flux? It's very simple concept. It's only depend upon the wavelength and the energy relationship. That's it. Had you got this point? Okay, Pooja. Had you understand? Remember, I'm repeating this point. When any energy coming from the sunlight, it is present in shortwave radiation. When that shortwave radiation is strike on Earth's surface, it is converted into long wave radiation. Long wave, more wavelength, but energy is less, so it can't cross the atmospheric layer. And as it is came downward direction. So that downward of long wave radiation, these are called as the downward flux of long wave radiation, or also called as the greenhouse flux. And what is the main function of the greenhouse flux? Just we are writing on the first line, that is greenhouse flux, it is responsible for, it is give the warming effect on Earth's surface. Annual mean is maintain the annual mean temperature, because we know that extremely hot condition, it is not favorable for the living organism. Extremely cold condition, again it is not favorable for living organism. So that temperature should be optimum. And who maintain this optimum temperature? That maintenance, it is done by the downward flux. I do understand what is meaning of this downward flux and what is its effect. Got this, everyone? This point is clear? Yes or no? Okay. So these are the information about the downward flux. Now I'm taking one question regarding to NEET examination. So one question. Question is that if downward flux is removed or it is absent, if downward flux, we just discussed that point, downward flux basically it is responsible for maintain the annual mean temperature of the earth, right? So if downward flux it is absent or it is removed, that time what happened? If downward flux it is removed, then what happened? Or simply we can say that absent. So remember, in this condition, now if we remove that situation, this temperature of the earth surface, earth temperature, it is become minus 18 degrees Celsius. If no downward flux, now that time the earth temperature is become minus 18 degrees Celsius. Yes, true. And in this situation, basically water, it is slowly converted into ice. And we know that all the living organism, which is the major component, water, these are the major component, first major component which is present in all living organism, that is water. And slowly whatever that water is present in living organism, it is converted into ice. So it is very bad effect. Annual mean temperature, that is earth's surface, it should be having the optimum temperature, and this maintenance, it is done by one component, that is the downward flux. Also these are called as the greenhouse flux, which is responsible for maintain the annual mean temperature. तो ये एक क्वेश्चन था. If we remove the downward flux, what will be happen? that is earth temperature, it is become minus 18 degrees Celsius. Now we are talking about what is the maintain of that, what is the annual mean temperature of the earth, which is maintained by the downward flux. So next question we are talking about, that is downward flux maintain. It's maintain annual mean temperature of the earth. Annual mean temperature of the earth. And the value for that temperature, these are the 15 degree Celsius. Okay. So we are annual, we are talking about. We are not taking any tropic region, not any polar region, not any equator. We are talking about the complete earth. So आपको पता है how to find out the mean value. सबको addition करो divided by that there how many zones are present. So you will get the exactly answer. So that's why the annual mean temperature on the earth. Normally these are the 15 degrees Celsius and earth temperature, okay, not any particular area. So that's why how these are the maintained. This maintained due to only one component, that is greenhouse flux or the downward flux, or simply we can say that such 15 degrees Celsius it will be giving the warming effect to the earth surface. So that's why greenhouse flux it is play very important role to maintain the temperature of earth surface, right? So ये information था regarding to greenhouse effect, how and how that effect it is showing, how that earth surface earth warming process that is be done, what is the long wave radiation, what is the short wave radiation, and what is meaning of downward flux. So have you got this point, everyone? This point is clear. Last point, which point? This one. Okay. So we are talking about two questions. If downward flux removed, what will be the temperature of the earth surface? So simply it will be go under the minus. Minus means what? Minus 18 degrees Celsius. And we know that at 0 degrees Celsius, water is it converted into ice. So just imagine minus 80 mein kya hoga? So definitely slowly all the water which is present on the earth surface, it is converted into ice, including human being, including all living organism. Because all living organism, it is mostly consist of this water. Major component is water. Second condition, what happened? We are talking about definitely downward flux, it is maintain the earth temperature, but we are talking about exactly value. What is the annual mean temperature? So exactly 15 degrees Celsius, these are the annual mean temperature of the earth which is maintained by downward flux. Clear? So downward flux maintain annual mean temperature, and the temperature value that is 15 degree Celsius who give the warming effect. Can mean now it's clear? This point is clear? Okay, very good. Chalo. Now ये तो था normal scenario, but now human. सारी problem की एक ही वजह है, that is human. Due to human activities, now there is an increase in greenhouse gas or the greenhouse effect. So next point, because of human, BCZ, because of BCZ, that is for because of human activities, there is increase of greenhouse effect. It is increased in the greenhouse effect. It means that is maximum long wave radiation can trap. Maximum long wave radiation they can trap. And now due to this dropping, the global temperature, or we can say that is annual mean temperature of the earth. Annual mean temperature of the earth. So it will be get increased. Yes, and such increase of annual mean temperature, simply these are called as global warming. This effect basically is called as that is global warming, Annual mean temperature, for example, last year is 20 degrees Celsius, but now this year it has become 22 degrees Celsius. So each and every year, because of these human activities, now that there is an enhancement of this greenhouse effect, maximum long wave radiation is get trapped in near the below the atmospheric layer or near the Earth's surface, and due to it will be responsible for change the annual mean temperature, means increase the annual mean temperature, and such type of this increase the temperature, Earth's temperature. So these are called as the global warming. Had you got this point? What is meaning of this global warming? Hmm? Yes or no? Okay, very good. Now we are talking about that is greenhouse gases. Next point. After this global warming, we have to discuss what is meaning of the greenhouse gases. Simply I'm talking about if greenhouse gases it is present in optimum concentration. Optimum means what? Na kam hai na zyada hai. It is present in normal concentration. So ultimately these are the good for maintaining the earth temperature. But if there is excess use of refrigerator, AC or the vehicles, so it leads to its release different component, and now all that component concentration is increased, and if concentration is increased it means that maximum it will be showing the greenhouse effect because more greenhouse gases. So we are taking some question part. What is the example of this greenhouse gases? So remember this point. Greenhouse gases also important to maintain the annual mean temperature, but when it is present in optimum concentration. But when the greenhouse gases concentration is increased, that time it is become very harmful. Number one component, which is a major component, that is carbon dioxide. Contribution of the carbon dioxide inside these greenhouse gases, that is GHG, that is 60% question. Now second component, that is methane. Methane also it is one part of this greenhouse gas and contribution that is 20%. So हमने पहले भी discuss किया था when we discuss that is effect of the carbon dioxide, right? In case of biodiversity and conservation, when we discuss the Amazon forest, that is healthy forest, it can fix approximately 30,000 kg carbon dioxide per annum and it is released 10,000 oxygen per year. So we हमने वहाँ पे भी हमने discuss किया था CO2 is present, and but that CO2 maximum it is responsible for the global warming nowadays. So major component that is carbon dioxide contribution that is 60%. Methane gas basically these are the 20%. We know that from the marshy area methane gas can release, from the anaerobic area that methane gas is released during the gobar gas production. Again there is a methane gas is released. So methane basically these are the marsh gas or also called as the gobar gas or the biogas. So this methane, number second. Another one that is CFC. CFC, long form of the CFC, that is chlorofluorocarbon. Chlorofluorocarbon, that is CFC. And the CFC, the contribution of CFC, it is approximately 14%. And most of CFC it is used in the refrigerator. हमारे घर में जो fridge है, in fridge mostly that CFC component is used, which is an example of the greenhouse gases responsible for the global warming. And the last component that is nitrogen oxide, and the contribution that is less, quite only 4%. So one question from the NEET examination, which is the major contribution in global warming effect, which is example of the greenhouse gases, that is carbon dioxide number one, methane number second, CFC number third, and the nitrogen oxide, these are the number four, that is contribution is 4%. So had you got this point? Remember this point, greenhouse gases, it's a good thing, but when it is present in optimum amount. But when the concentration of greenhouse gases is increased, that time it is responsible for global warming. That's why we are taking carbon dioxide concentration is quite high right now in scenario, in this situation. That's why it is responsible for the global warming. Clear this point? This point is clear, everyone? Okay, very good. What about the other students? Okay, Anelia, Arya, Chitra, Dipansha, Gauravi. Okay, chalo, very good. Now one question from this point. Next point. What is the effect of global warming? Chalo. So we continue the next point. Effect of global warming, and we have to discuss positive as well as the negative effect. So write down the title. Effects of global warming. So we are taking two effects, positive effect as well as the negative effect. So first of all, we are discussing what is the positive effect of global warming. And in second scenario, we'll discuss what will be the negative effect of global warming. Okay, now, तो पहले positive से start करते हैं. Now in case of this positive, we are taking one example only, that is CO2 fertilization, carbon dioxide fertilization. What is meaning of that carbon dioxide fertilization? And under this carbon dioxide fertilization, simply we are taking the examples, that is C3 plant. So example, that is C3 plant. I hope you remember last year in photosynthesis chapter we'll discuss C3 plant, C4 plant and the CAM plant, और उसके related हमने cycle भी देखे थे. That is C3 cycle, also called as the Kelvin cycle. C4 cycle, also called as the double CO2 fixation cycle or Hatch and Slack cycle. And another, that is CAM pathway, CAM cycle, which is present in Aponcia, like cactus, means the desert plant. So we are only focusing on the C3 plant. I hope you remember, when we are talking about the C3 plant, it means that they required more CO2. They required more CO2 for food synthesis, or simply we can say that process for the photosynthesis process. For food synthesis, or simply we can say that that is photosynthesis. How do you remember the value? How do you remember the value? How much concentration of carbon dioxide is required for the photosynthesis in C3 plant? Anyone? How do you remember the value? We discussed that value in the form of ppm, parts per million. How do you remember? No. Chalo, discuss karte hain. So in case of this C3 plant, we are talking about C3 plant, they required more than 450 ppm, parts per million CO2 concentration. More than 450. No, Papa, 50 ppm, wait, it is for the CAM plant. उसको कम लगता है. C3 they required the more carbon dioxide and they release the more water. भूल गए क्या? 600 water molecule released through stomata. One carbon dioxide get entered, 600 water molecule released through stomata in C3 plant. In case of CAM plant, approximately 300 water molecule release, and in case of CAM, 50 water molecule get released. Yes, please revise that part. Huh? So हम यहाँ पे focus कर रहे हैं only CO2 fertilization. That is how, when the concentration of carbon dioxide is get increased, how these are the beneficial. That is positive effect. So we are focusing on C3 plant because C3 plant they require more concentration of carbon dioxide for the photosynthesis. And now we are taking the value. What is the value? That is more than 450 ppm. So definitely, in this condition, if that value, these are the 450 ppm, and why these are the happening? Because CO2 concentration is increased, right? That is because of the CO2. CO2 concentration is gets increased, and due to addition of this more CO2, now overall photosynthetic activity it get increased. Photosynthetic activity they get increased because if more CO2, more photosynthesis. Only for what? Only for C3 plant. So such condition where if the concentration of carbon dioxide these are the increase, then the photosynthesis rate also increase. This process simply it is called as CO2 fertilization. Okay, CO2 fertilization. Got this point? This point is clear. It is not happening rarely. It is not it is not happening regularly. Basically, it's very rare phenomenon because we know that among the C3, C4 and the CAMP C4 plant, it will be showing the more productivity, like sugarcane showing the more productivity. But in some cases, we can say when the concentration of carbon dioxide is get increased, that time some plant like C3 plant, they are showing more photosynthesis because in atmosphere CO2 concentration is more. If more CO2, so more photosynthesis only in C3 plant. Remember this point, okay? Only in case of C3 plant. Highlight this point. हम बस C3 plant के बारे में बात करें because they require the more carbon dioxide. So this effect, these are called as the positive effect. So got this point? Had you got this point? Yes. Okay. Okay. Chalo, good. So now next point we are talking about, that is negative effect. Chalo. Complete karo part. Next one. So we are talking about, that is some information about this negative effect. So बहुत सारे negative effect है. Number one, we are talking about in case of this 20th century. In 20th century, basically we are talking about there is an annual mean temperature, it is get increase, right? Annual mean temperature it is get increase. और कितना increase हुआ है? It will be approximately 0.6 degree Celsius temperature, it is get increase as compared to previous centuries. So only in 20th century 0.6 degree Celsius temperature is increased, and we know that such effect it is because of only global warming. Now next condition we are talking about, ये तो पहला effect, first effect. Now second effect we are talking about, that is alteration in rain pattern as well as the air mass movement. So alteration, or we can say that is change. Simply it is called as the change, because we know that temperature is very important component. So there is an alteration in rain pattern and as well as air mass movement, because flow of air, these are also important for the rain. So again there is an alteration in rain pattern and the air mass movement. And now what happens? Sometimes it leads to condition like maybe drought condition or maybe excess fluid condition. So all this scenario, this alteration in rain pattern and the air mass movement, these are the leads to, एक तो drought condition होगा और fluid condition. And why these are the happening? These are the because of there is a change in annual mean temperature, that is due to global warming. So these are the first two effects. Now next condition, third effect, that is which is included into negative impact. Again in 20th century, approximately there is an increase in sea water level. So we are talking about approximately 150 centimeter rising sea water level. Rising sea water level. And what is the reason? Reason because of ice melting, because we know that if annual mean temperature is increased, ultimately the ice which is present at the polar region, it will be start melting. Himalayan ho gaya, snow, again it will be showing the melting. So again there is a rise in water level. So that approximately 150 centimeter rise the sea level due to melting of ice. Melting of ice. Okay, so these are another third drawback, or we can say that is negative impact. Now, next condition we are talking about, that is with respect to photosynthesis. So number 4, negative impact. So in this condition, we are talking about with respect to photosynthesis. What will be the effect, negative effect on the photosynthesis? So now in this condition, I am giving one relationship during this photosynthesis. If 1 degree Celsius temperature it is increased. Okay, I'm not talking about the C3 plant, I'm talking about the normal plant, except C3, who require the normal temperature. So if only 1 degree Celsius, only 1 degree Celsius, its temperature is increased, that time it's decrease the productivity 5%. And I'm taking simple example in case of this rice. So if 1 degree temperature is increased, it means that in the rice plant, 5% productivity get decreased. Productivity, it is get decreased. And we know that rice, these are the staple food of India. So basically these are the negative impact. So increase, if temperature increase, now it will be leads to decrease the productivity. Productivity means what we are talking about, that is photosynthesis. Okay, and the major loss among these all, there is a major loss, that is vegetation shifting. Vegetation shifting. So I'm explaining this part, what is meaning of this vegetative shifting. Just suppose these are the part of earth. The earth है हमारा, North Pole, and now these are the South Pole. Now at the center there is a presence of this equator. So यहाँ पे present equator. So for the equator I am just writing the E. We already discussed about, now above the equator toward this north and the south pole there is the presence of the tropic zone. Tropics are there, subtropics are there. Now above the tropics there is a presence of this temperate zone. And now finally there is a presence of this Arctic or the Antarctic. So we are not taking that part. Now what happened when we are talking about this equator? Equator, it has the high temperature. ठीक है, तो हम यहाँ पे टेम्परेचर के वैल्यू लिख रहे हैं. I'm just writing the temperature, which is standard temperature. In case of this tropic, we are talking about approximately it has, just suppose, okay, it has the 25 degrees Celsius. On the equator, it is quite high, means we are talking about that is on equator, there is a presence of this more than 25 degrees Celsius. जैसे जैसे हम टेम्परेट जोन में जाएंगे, it will be contain approximately 15 degrees Celsius. So just imagine, we are taking the 3 zones. Number 1 zones, temperature 15 degrees Celsius. Number 2, tropic 25 degrees Celsius. And number 3, equator, that is more than 25 degrees Celsius. It means that each and every zone there is a presence of specific type of the plant species, because plant it is not showing the migration. Migration it is possible only in case of animal, because they are showing the locomotion. But now what happened in this condition? Vegetation shifting means normally all the vegetation, all the plant who can survive more than 25 degrees Celsius, now they are present on the equator, right? But now what happened due to global warming? Due to global warming, now that temperature it is become, just suppose it is become 32 degrees Celsius. So now what happened? All the plant specimen which is present on the equator, they shift towards this tropic zone, because वहाँ पे temperature favorable है. So they are showing the shifting. Shifting मतलब ऐसे नहीं कि root निकाल के they are start walking. No, it's not like that. Shifting means what? There is a spore dispersion or the seed dispersion through via animals or through birds, through insect. And now if temperature is favorable, that time that area they are showing the growth. I am talking that sense. Okay, so there is a vegetation shifting. But now what happened? Same problem with the tropic zone. Tropic zone, it is having temperature approximately 25 degrees Celsius, but due to global warming यहाँ का temperature हो गया 30 degrees Celsius. So now the temperature, the plant specimen which is grow at the 25 degrees Celsius, now they can't grow here, right? Now slowly they shift towards this temperate zone. So now what happening in this situation? Slowly the vegetation which is present on the equator, from equator it is moving toward the tropic, from tropic it is moving towards the temperature, then tundra, and finally towards the polar. And we know that towards the polar we never found a life because it's very extremely cold condition. हाँ हो सकता है rare of the rare condition, archaebacteria are present there, some plants are present there, but I'm talking about exactly end extreme condition. So diversity is not possible, biodiversity is not possible there. Maybe there is a presence of the some organism, but they had adaptation, they can survive at the high temperature. But where is the biodiversity, right? So that's the major cause because of the global warming, that is a negative impact, shifting of vegetation. और इसी तरह से अगर shift होता चला गया, so there is a loss of so many plant species, and indirectly there is a loss of animal species also, right? So these are the some negative impact with respect to global warming, that is annual mean temperature increase, maybe it's changed the rain pattern, drought condition or the flood condition. It's responsible for the melting of the ice, so that's why every year the sea water level it is increasing. Photosynthesis, its effect on the photosynthesis in rice plant, because there is a 1 degree Celsius temperature get raised, so it will be decrease the 5% productivity in rice plant. And the last loss, that is vegetation shifting. Clear this point? This point is clear, everyone? Got this point? Okay. Puja, Kinmin, Kaksha. Yeah. Risa, Maria. Okay. So ये था with respect to global warming. Now I'm talking about ozone depletion. चलो continue. New point. Ozone depletion. Write down the title. We are talking about, that is ozone depletion. And what is the reason for the ozone depletion? Before starting the ozone depletion, we are taking only some simple condition, that is layers. Atmospheric layer, that is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, and the thermosphere. We are not taking the exactly value कितने किलोमीटर से कितने किलोमीटर के range में, but I just want to tell you where the good ozone is present and where the bad ozone is present, because question वहां से बनेगा. So next point we are talking about, that is ozone depletion. But before that we have to discuss the different atmospheric layer. Now inside this atmospheric layer, first of all we are talking, yeah. So first of all we are talking about, that is troposphere, which is approximately 16 kilometer from the earth surface. We are not taking that kilometer part because वहां से question नहीं बनेगा. So I'm just writing the zone name. So this zone, nothing but these are called as the troposphere. Above the troposphere, there is a presence of stratosphere. Above the stratosphere, now there is a presence of this mesosphere. Now there is a presence of the thermosphere, ionosphere, etc., etc. हम ज़्यादा नहीं ऊपर जा रहे because we have to focus only 2 point, thermo and the strato, right? Now inside this stratosphere, there is a presence of one layer, that is ozone layer. Okay, so I'm writing this point here. That is, it will be lie approximately 20 to 26 kilometer. Approximately इतना ozone का layer होता है. So these are the layer, nothing but we are talking about. These are the ozone layer. And there is one important point we are talking about, that is a 2 types of this layer, which is good ozone and the bad ozone. So simply I'm writing here, that is T for the stratosphere, T for the troposphere, S for the stratosphere. हम इसी point को continue कर रहे हैं. Inside the stratosphere, the ozone is present. That is a exactly good ozone. So these are the good ozone. For the ozone, I'm just writing the O3. Inside this troposphere, ozone is present. These are the bad ozone. So good ozone as well as the bad ozone. Now what happened when we are talking about that good ozone? Good ozone, it is present at the higher atmosphere. Where these are the present? These are the present in higher atmosphere. And when we are talking about bad ozone, it is a part of lower atmosphere, as well as there is a presence of some chemical weed. Chemical weed means what? That is unwanted material also present in that ozone. So these are the one type of chemical weed. Weed basically these are the one type of we are using for the plant, but in case of this chemical weed means what? Simply I'm writing this meaning, that is unwanted material or unwanted chemical like gases हो सकते हैं or different particulate matter भी हो सकता है. So different matters are there. So that is unwanted material. Simply we are talking about that is unwanted material. So these are the second point with respect to good ozone and the bad ozone. Now next condition we are talking about, that is function. What is the function? So in case of the function, when we are talking about that is good ozone, which is present inside this stratosphere, the function of that good ozone, it is protect from harmful UV light. It is protect from UV rays, that is ultraviolet rays. So these are the function, and we know that ozone it is play a very important role because it will be form a protective layer. And where these are the present? These are the present in stratosphere, which is a good example of the good ozone. But why we are talking about bad ozone, which is present in troposphere, which is near to Earth's surface, because that ozone it is not involved in protection of UV light. Now it is act as a greenhouse gas. Now it is act as a greenhouse gas, and we just discussed greenhouse gas also responsible for the global warming, because O3 hoga definitely, but inside that O3 there is a unwanted materials also present, and such type of this ozone which is present inside the troposphere, it is example of greenhouse gas. So do you understand that? Have you got this point? Yes or no? Yes or no? Sure. Okay, very good. चलो. Now I'm talking about the concentration exactly. थोड़ा extra point है, but आपके exam के लिए आप कर लो. So we are talking about that is what is the exactly concentration. So when we are talking about good ozone concentration, it will be lie approximately 0.3 to 1 ppm. That is a concentration. Okay, I'm writing here in small letter, that is concentration. And the bad ozone concentration is very less, that is only point not 5 ppm, but still it is very harmful. हम आगे देखेंगे why that ozone is harmful, what is the effect. So these are the concentration which is present in stratosphere as well as inside the troposphere. So have you got what is the bad ozone and what is the good ozone and where these are the exactly present? Got this? Okay, Onelia. Lisa, yeah, Pooja. Chalo. Now we are talking about, we have to focus how that concentration of ozone, that is O3 level, it is maintained in stratosphere. We are taking one reaction and now then we discuss about the depletion part. Next condition. We are talking about, that is about the equilibrium. Next point, please write down the title. We are talking about that is steady state, or simply it is called as the equilibrium. क्या हो रहा है? Okay. So we are talking about that is equilibrium. equilibrium of ozone in stratosphere. And just we discussed the ozone which is present in stratosphere, these are the good ozone. Now what happens? Simply we are taking one reaction, that is association and the dissociation, that is generation and the dissociation. Now we know that there is a normal presence of this oxygen, that is O2, right? Now this O2 further it is absorbed, means that O2 it is absorbed the short wave radiation, that is UV rays. So we are talking about that oxygen, it is absorbed SWR, right? Short wave radiation. And now what happened? Due to absorption, now that short wave radiation, that oxygen which is present in O2 form, it is converted into nascent oxygen. So now it is converted into nascent oxygen, that is two molecules. One molecule of oxygen but is converted into OO, that is nascent oxygen. Okay. Now what happened? In third reaction, means second step actually, out of that two nascent oxygen, one nascent oxygen, it is react with the oxygen, right? And after this reaction, it is formed, that is O3. So ये जो process था, there is a formation, that formation nothing but we are talking about, that is generation of O2, because concentration it should be maintained at appropriate amount. Less concentration harmful, more concentration also harmful. So that's why we have to maintain the equilibrium. We have to maintain the steady state condition. So oxygen is present, that oxygen is undergo the breakdown by absorbing the short wave radiation, and now it is converted into nascent oxygen. So out of that two nascent oxygen molecule, one nascent oxygen, simply मान लो ये वाला, this nascent oxygen, now it is react with the oxygen and now it is formed, that is O3, right? ये form था with respect to generation. Now in second diagram, what happened? For example, that ozone, that is O3, we are talking about third reaction, that is O3. Now that O3, it is absorbed long wave radiation. Now it is absorbed long wave radiation, and when it is absorbed the long wave radiation, again it is converted into oxygen and the nascent oxygen molecule, right? And such state, these are called as dissociation of O3. Dissociation of O3. And such scenario is very common in stratosphere, because stratosphere concentration it should be present between the 0.3 to 1 ppm. It's very important, 0.3 to 1 ppm, right? And now what happened? Such condition, these are called as the equilibrium. And what is meaning of this equilibrium? That is generation of O2, sorry, O3, ozone, right? Generation of O3, it should be maintained by the process of dissociation of ozone, or simply we can say that is dissociation of O3. And this process, that is generation of O3 and the dissociation, these are simply called as equilibrium. And just we discussed that equilibrium also called as the steady state, how to maintain the concentration of ozone inside the stratosphere. That's why inside the stratosphere, the ozone is present. That is an example of good ozone. So had you got this point? How it is get maintained? It is simply maintained by the equilibrium, generation as well as the dissociation. Got this point? Yes or no? This point is clear, everyone? Chalo, very good. Okay. So now next point we are talking about ozone depleting substance, ODS, और यहाँ से नीट के questions बनते हैं. Next point we are talking about ODS. Write down the title. ODS, that is O for ozone, D for depleting, and S for substance. Substance, that is Just 1 second. Yeah, screen is visible now. Ozone depleting substance. ODS. Chalo. Now we are talking about what is meaning of ODS, and I'm taking some example. What is meaning of ozone hole? Then we discuss the further examples. The concept ozone depleting substance, simply these are called as the breakdown of ozone. The breakdown of ozone layer. That's what is called as the ozone depleting substance, ODS. Why it will be showing this condition? Why there is a breakdown of that ozone layer? Because of, we just discussed, inside this stratosphere there should be generation is equal to dissociation. But now, due to some harmful chemicals, dissociation process it is more as compared to generation, as compared to the process of generation. And that's why we can say that there is a formation of a ozone hole. So what is meaning of this ozone hole? Just we discussed, that is breakdown of this ozone. Why these are the possible? Because there is a more dissociation, more breakdown of this ozone. Ultimately what happened? The concentration of ozone, that is O3, it will be get decreased. When the concentration of that ozone it is get decreased, it means that there is a formation of the thin layer of ozone. Yes, so there is a formation of thin layer of ozone. And now what happened with all this condition at this springtime, at the spring season, or simply we can say at the spring time, O3 get decreased, and such decreased concentration, these are called as, that is ozone hole. Just wait, I think screen is loading late. Just wait. Okay. The thin layer of ozone. Next scenario. At springtime. At springtime, the concentration of ozone it will be get decreased, and such type of condition these are called as, that is ozone hole. Okay, highlight this word, that is ozone hole. We are taking the two example, that is Arctic hole and the Antarctica hole. So in this condition we are talking about, in our syllabus we have the two example of the hole where there is a breakdown of this ozone layer and there is a formation of this hole in atmosphere. So first of all we are talking about in 1985 there is a formation of this ozone hole at the Antarctica region. And tell me, Antarctica means what? Toward the south or toward the north? हमने देखा ये part, Arctic and the Antarctica. So there is a formation of this first hole towards this Antarctica region. So now tell me, these are the south or the north? Yes, Aryan, these are the toward the south. So that's why हम देखते देखो in our lower classes also we are also studied there is a formation of this first hole toward the south. So definitely when we are talking about that is Antarctica, these are the present toward the south. Now next condition we are talking about, after the 5 years again, there is in 1990 we observe the second hole, and that second hole these are the present toward the Arctic region. And Arctic means what? Which direction? Arctic means what? Which direction? Antarctic means south, right? Arctic means what? Yes, these are the towards the north. So Arctic and the Antarctic. So definitely first time we observe toward the south pole, south region, and that region nothing but we are talking about this Antarctica region. So had you got this? What is meaning of that ozone hole and why these are the happening? Simply because of ozone depleting substance, that is breakdown of ozone. So now in this condition we are taking some examples of ODS, example of ozone depleting substance which is responsible for breakdown of ozone. And please don't get confused between the greenhouse gases and the ODS because थोड़े थोड़े example यहाँ पे common है. So now next condition we are talking about, that is example of ODS which is responsible for breakdown of ozone. So the ideal example, first one question बनेगा यहाँ से. The first one, that is CFC, chlorofluorocarbon. Remember one question, CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, these are the first component which is responsible for breakdown of ozone. And CFC also we discussed, these are the part of the greenhouse gases also, but it is position, it is third position. Okay, don't get confused. Greenhouse gas में पहला CO2 है, second one is methane, third one that is CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, which is released from the refrigerator. And last one we are discussed, that is nitrogen oxide. In case of ODS, first component that is CFC, chlorofluorocarbon. Second component that is halon. Third component again nitrogen oxide. Fourth component that is presence of this methane gas, right? So these are the few examples. Those are examples included inside this ODS. And the another point we are talking about, what is the unit of ozone, how to measure ozone concentration. So that ozone, nothing but it is represented by the unit that is DU, right? And 1 DU is equal to 1 ppb, that is parts per billion. And the long form of DU, again यहाँ से question बनता है because we discussed dB for the decibel, which is the unit for the sound, right? But in this condition we are talking about, that is DU, that is unit to measure the ozone concentration, that is Dobson unit. D for the DU is equal to Dobson unit. Okay, please don't get confused. हमने पहले देखा था, please write down this information. हमने sound के लिए देखा था, there is a presence of unit is dB. But in case of this ozone, we are talking about what is the unit? Unit it is DU. So don't get confused between the DU and the dB. dB for the sound, that is decibel, and the dB for the decibel, that is unit to measure the sound in under the noise pollution. And to measure the ozone concentration, simply unit is DU, that is Dobson unit. Got this point? This point is clear, everyone? This point is clear? Tell me. This point is clear? Okay, very good. Chalo. So we are taking another question for the NEET. Which is asked in last year. There is one protocol to control the emission of EDS. Okay? So I'm writing that information. International initiation for the ozone depletion. How to control. So I'm writing just information to control the emission of ODS, that is ozone depleting substance. There is one international committee, or we can say there is one international protocol. And now to control the emission of this ODS, there is a protocol. Name of this protocol, that is Montreal Protocol, which is run in Canada. Okay. So to control the emission of this ODS. One question, remember this point, जैसे हमने देखा था in case of biodiversity, to control the biodiversity, we have to remember word that is summit, Earth summit or maybe World summit, right? So same condition is there. when we are using to control the emission of ODS, when there is a word ozone depleting substance. So remember name of that protocol, that is Montreal Protocol. Montreal Protocol, these are the some international committee who work on how to control ODS substance, because ozone is very important and it should be present in equilibrium. It should be present in steady state amount. Had you got this point? The last year ka question hai as it is, that is Montreal Protocol. Remember, it's control the emission of ODS, and biodiversity controlled by Earth Summit, Summit World, Earth Summit or World Summit. Clear this point? Yes or no? This point is clear? Okay, chalo. Next point we are talking about, we are taking one example that how chlorofluorocarbon responsible for breakdown of ozone. ठीक है? So हम एक reaction discuss करें. एक मिनट. So next point we are taking one example to discuss how that CFC, that is chlorofluorocarbon, it is act as a ODS substance. Okay? So simply I'm taking the first reaction. CFC, that is chlorofluorocarbon, it is simply absorb the UV rays, ultraviolet rays. तो इसने क्या किया? It is absorb the UV rays. Now what happened? Once it is absorbed the UV rays, now there is a breakdown process. What process can be occur? There is a process of breakdown, and after this breakdown, now there is a release of chlorine atom. So जैसे breakdown हो जाएगा from that chlorofluorocarbon, now there is a release of chlorine atom. We are talking about, that is chlorine atom, it get released. Simply process. Okay. So these are the one condition. We are not taking the reaction because chlorofluorocarbon, it has the formula that is CF2 and the Cl2. जैसे UV light absorb करेगा, it will be converted into CF2Cl plus Cl. Now that Cl nothing but it is become one radioactive substance. Simply we are talking about these are the one hazardous chemical. So इतना सारा reaction नहीं ले रहे, because just we want to discuss when chlorofluorocarbon it is absorb the UV light, it is undergo the breakdown, and after this breakdown they can release the chlorine atom. So यहाँ तक okay? Now, so we have to focus only that chlorine atom. Such chlorine atom, second reaction, it is react with ozone, that is O3. Now, once it is react with this O3, now that O3 it is undergo the process of breakdown. और जैसे ये breakdown हो जाएगा, it will be form oxygen and it will be form one component, that is chlorine monoxide, that is ClO. So that ClO, nothing but we are talking about, that is chlorine monoxide. Okay. Now, in third step, such chlorine monoxide, again it is react with nascent oxygen. So next step. So this chlorine monoxide, it is react with the nascent oxygen, because just we discussed there is a release of oxygen, also oxygen ozone get breakdown, so nascent oxygen is present normally. So when it is react, now it is converted into oxygen and again it is released the chlorine. फिर से क्या बना? Chlorine बना. Once there is a formation of this chlorine, now such chlorine, this one, again it will be get entered into this step. यहाँ से step में involve हो जाएगा. So now what happened? Simply if you discuss, there is a chain reaction of breakdown of ozone. So simply we can say there is a chain reaction. These are the chain reaction of O3 breakdown. Yes. So that's why we are talking about CFC. These are the major component for the degradation of ozone layer. because if you see all this reaction, initially CFC present था. CFC, it is release the chlorine because breakdown होगा, it's release the chlorine. Chlorine, it is react with the ozone. Now it is form the oxygen and again the chlorine monoxide. Chlorine monoxide react with the nascent oxygen. Again it is form the oxygen plus it is release the chlorine. So again क्या हुआ? It will be involved in the chain reaction. And remember one thing. If I'm talking about why these are called as the ozone depleting substance, because one molecule of chlorine, right? So we are writing this condition here. One molecule of chlorine, only one molecule, or simply we can say that is one atom. These are the responsible for breakdown of 5,000 ozone molecule in 1 month. So it can break 5,000 ozone molecule in within month, in 1 month. So just check this condition. What is the loss? तो देखो एक क्लोरीन इतने मोलिक्यूल को ब्रेक डाउन कर रहा है. So when it is involved, when it is become a part of chain reaction, just think कितने ज्यादा ओजोन लेयर के मोलिक्यूल ब्रेक डाउन होंगे. Because we just discussed, if you want a good ozone layer which is present in stratosphere, there should be equilibrium, right? Dissociation and the association, that is formation rate, generation rate, it should be equal. But now what happened in this scenario? There is a more breakdown of the ozone layer because of ozone depleting substance. And the major cause, first example, which is very hazardous, very radioactive substance, that is CFC. And when CFC undergo the breakdown, it is released the chlorine, and chlorine now it is become reactive. So had you got this point? Why we are talking about for the ozone layer degradation, why that CFC it is major component. Had you got this point now? Yes or no? Is this any doubt? Yes, very good. Okay, so these are the some basic information how that one molecule of this chlorine it is responsible for the breakdown of the ozone layer because it is become part of chain reaction. Now write down the title. Write down the title. Effects of ozone depletion. Depletion means we are talking about decrease the concentration. Okay. So write down the title, effects of ozone depletion. Ozone depletion. Done? Okay. Write down first point. Write down first point. One percent ozone decrease. 1% ozone decrease. That time 2 times UVB concentration it will be get increase. Can you tell me what is the harmful effect of UVB? Because only 1% ozone layer concentration is decreased, that time the concentration of ultraviolet B is increased. Can you tell me what is the effect of UV rays B, UVB? Can you tell me what is the effect of UVB? Cancer, okay. Or in other most language, these are responsible for the mutation. So I'm writing the effect of UVB. हमने देखा था UVB basically is responsible for the mutation. That is sudden hereditary change. It is caused the mutation. So that is a very major loss. That's why ozone layer is very important component because ozone absorb the harmful UV radiation, that is UVB, and UVB it is responsible for the mutation. Now another condition we are talking about, एक तो हमने point देखा, it is decreased when concentration, it is responsible for the mutation, as well as it is responsible for the skin cancer. Because we last time also we discussed, when we discussed the human skin color, which is example of polygenic inheritance. Normally Asian skin it is not prone to the skin cancer because almost when we are talking about that is skin, the Western culture, because they have the low concentration of melanin, and melanin it is one type from the protective layer. So again, when the concentration of ozone is get decreased, now that skin it is very prone to skin cancer because ultraviolet, which is a harmful radiation, UVB radiation, UVB responsible for mutation, or simply we can say it is responsible for the skin cancer. Okay. Now, sometime what happen? It will be responsible for swollen eye cornea, right? And slowly, slowly, it will be also showing the slow blindness. Very slow. Permanent नहीं होगा, एक साथ नहीं होगा. Slowly, slowly, it will be effect on the eye cornea. So the swollen eye cornea, as well as we can say, it will be showing the slow blindness, right? And next condition, again, it is responsible for decrease the photosynthesis. It's decrease the photosynthesis. Next condition, again, it suppress the immune system. Suppress immune system. So these are the few effects. These are the few effects of the light of ozone depletion when the ozone concentration is great decline. Major cause basically these are the mutation, and the another major cause that is the skin cancer. Third one that is swelling or the swollen eye cornea. Again, it will be responsible for the slow blindness. Decrease the photosynthesis and suppress the immune system. Basically, these are the very minor effect, but we have some reported data where the concentration of ozone is get declined. It will be also responsible for such type of these changes. Got this point? Yeah. Prachi, basically sunburn, it is because of this UVA and the mostly UVA, because sun tanning, it is because of UVA. Okay, UVA. That's why if you see any Nivea cream or any sun lotions or any sunscreen, so mostly वहाँ पे लिखा होता है UVA and the UVB protected, because only UVA and UVB it is reach on the earth surface. UVC it is trapped by the ozone layer, so it is not reach, mostly it is not reach on the earth surface, but UVA it is responsible for the sunburn or the sun tanning, blackness, and the UVB is responsible for the skin cancer or simply mutation. Got this point? This point is clear, everyone? Okay, yeah. So next point we are talking about, last point of this chapter, that is deforestation, waterlogging, and the soil erosion. So that ozone depleting substance, this part is over. Now we are talking about some case study, how to conserve forest, how to conserve a tree. और यहाँ पे हम discuss करेंगे, that is Bishnoi community, that is Amrita Devi example, that is Chipko movement also are there, Zoom cultivations are there. So one by one we'll discuss. Number one we are talking about, that is what is the side effects. So now in this condition we are talking about number one example, that is soil erosion. Next one, that is water logged condition, and water logged condition means that is soil salinity it is get increased. Soil salinity it is get increased, that is salt concentration. Okay, and the third reason we are talking about, that is deforestation. Deforestation, right? So all we are talking about, these are the different conditions. Soil erosions are there, water logged conditions are there, or the deforestations are there. And why these are the happening? All these three reasons because of just only one reason, that is cutting of forest or the cutting of the trees. So all these are the problem it leads. Now we have to focus on the deforestation because यहाँ से questions बनते हैं. Deforestation basically there is a so many reasons. तो हम reason discuss नहीं करें because you know all the reasons, so you can write down the complete essay also on that. Okay. So here we are talking about simply the process, that is deforestation. Okay, हमें इसको focus करना है. In case of this deforestation, we are taking some examples. Just wait, my screen is get. Yeah. So next condition we are talking about, that is deforestation. In case of this deforestation, we are talking about what percentage it is present in world and with respect to India. So mostly, first of all, हम बात करें in world. In case of this world, we are taking two conditions. First condition we are talking about in case of this tropic zone, because we know that tropics basically these are the biodiversity rich area, but due to deforestation there is approximately 40% loss of forest only because of deforestation. Okay, and that loss, it's major loss in tropics area. Just remember 40% बहुत बड़ी value है. Another condition, again there is a loss in case of this temperate zone also. So in case of this temperate zone, because of this deforestation, 1% loss of forest. Okay, so major cause in the tropic zone, that is 40%, and only 1% loss in case of this temperate zone. So ये हो गया with respect to world. Now we are talking about with respect to India. India में क्या situation? So in case of this India, we are talking about earlier approximately the Indian land, it is covered with the 30% of the forest. So we are talking about early condition under this India. So early condition, approximately 30% area it is covered by the forest. Covered by forest. But if we compare this situation, that is present condition. So from 30%, now we are coming in only 19.4% area. These are the covered by the forest. So just think, what is the loss? Only because of that deforestation, only because of that cutting of tree. Initially, there is a presence of the 30% area. These are the covered by the forest. But now these are the scenario only 19.4% area. These are the covered, right? आगे का part means we have to discuss some थोड़ा सा part बचे, only 10 minutes part is remaining because you have the another class also, me also having the next class. So for today we'll stop here. Further part will be discussed in next week. Only 5 to 10 minutes part is left, and again in next class we start with the new chapter, molecular basis of inheritance. I hope, because most of students tell me for the molecular, if you are having the another exam, because it is depend upon the ratio. Agar majority hogi for the microbe chapter, then we start the microbe. So please tell me which chapter will start, because most of people said me that is molecular chapter will start. Okay. So next part will continue in the next week, and keep learning, because for the next test syllabus, that is 2 chapters, biodiversity conservation, and another one that is environmental issues. Okay. Thank you so much.